Today on episode 115 of Typical Chicago Fans, we have Sinkers and Floaters, the TCF Sports Minute, our college football Week 5 preview, the NFL Week 4 pick show, and a TCF NOT top 3 of the worst NFL uniforms. Let's roll. Hello and welcome to episode 115 of Typical Chicago Fans, brought to you by our incredible sponsor, Connect Roasters. Make sure to follow them at Connect Roasters on Twitter and head to their website, connectroasters.com. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at typical_Chicago. Check out our Facebook and Instagram pages as well. Give those pages a like. Head over to YouTube, subscribe to our page there for all of our content in video form. Make sure to subscribe, rate, and review on Apple Podcasts. Follow us on Spotify, Spreaker, Google Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. We are there. You can find me on Twitter at BoomyTCF, but make sure to follow Zach and Matt, and that is at ZLiliaTCF, and Maddie at schools_01. Boys, October is here. How are we feeling heading into the true first month of fall?
I'm feeling great. I love this weather. It's been warm the last few days, but no humidity, so can't beat that. But unfortunately, we'll get into the more in my sinkers and floaters. But I'm not a fan of how dark it's getting.
Yeah. It seems like it's 10 minutes earlier.
How quickly it gets dark, because it's
time to golf.
And it's just depressing.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it'll be like
you get off work at like 4 or 5 o'clock, and it's like dark by 7.
Oh yeah, but you got to remember,
it's like almost 6 o'clock now.
Right. We got to remember though, we got to enjoy it while we can, because in about a month and a half, it's going to be dark when you leave work. So that's true. All. That one stinks. Maddie, how's the fall treating you?
Good. I see it. I'm at the point I'd take it a little bit cooler than it's been during the day. Like it's still getting into like the mid 80s. That's just not like fall to me, and I'm fine with mid 80s. Don't get me wrong; I'd rather have that over snow. But I do like that little crisp in the morning. Makes you think football, especially on Saturdays and Sundays. When you're getting ready for college and getting ready for the NFL slate. So, gets you ready, gets the juices flowing a little bit, makes you want to get the grill fired up, get a cocktail in your hands, things like that. You can put all the chores to the side as needed, and enjoy a little bit of football.
Absolutely, boys. Well, let's get into it. As always, our sinkers and floaters. I will get started with my first sinker, and that is the Dollar Tree. I don't know how much you guys go to the Dollar Tree. We have a couple here locally. They're pretty solid. They're unlike the Dollar General or Family Dollar. Everything in Dollar Tree is $1, no matter what it is. What they do to keep things at $1 is they lower like the quantity. So they sell Bang energy drinks for $1, but they're a little bit smaller, or they'll sell like a bag of M&Ms for $1, but they're a little bit smaller than you would get. But they have said that with the rising cost of goods, obviously everybody knows about that, but also that retail customers have been kind of asking for, a little bit more variety or a little bit better products. So the Dollar Tree, kind of the last one standing in that big dollar outlet, realm, is going to have what they're calling Dollar Tree Plus sections of their store, where you can get things for more than $1. So I'm not sure it's going to break the bank, but if you were planning on going in and paying in singles, plus your tax, it's going to be just a little bit extra if you want some pricier products at the old Dollar Tree.
Paying for premium.
That's hilarious. Dude, they sat around in a big meeting and they were like, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to get Dollar Tree Plus.
Yeah, they added plus to it. They were like, nailed it.
It'll be for sure.
And everyone was like, "You got it. There you go. We got it."
They were proud as hell of that one. There's no question.
Oh, and that was probably
there was an applause. People maybe stood up. They're like, "Oh, we got this."
Yes,
that was like the typical Leo just dropping the mic. That moment.
What we're gonna do? We're gonna make things $2.
Yeah. Oh, they said
some middle management marketing executive. It felt like he's getting an absolute monster bonus this year.
Oh, 100%. So shout out to Dollar Tree. I'm going to go splurge a little bit when it hits my local Dollar Tree.
Hey, don't go crazy.
I can't break the bank, Maddie, but I'm going to splurge a little bit, all right?
There you go.
Boomy, my sinker is the time change, because it's not happening yet, but I think it's the next few weeks. I never actually know when the day is until someone tells me.
I don't think anybody does.
And I know we gain an hour technically, but we're going to lose an hour of sunlight.
You got till November 7th.
Oh, we have throughout the month.
November 7th is the day that the clocks change. But you're right, Zach. It does feel like it's creeping up on us.
Well, I was wrong, but time change is still. I don't get that. I wish it just everything stay the same.
Yeah, I'm with you there. We've talked about this numerous times, but
I'm still. I think it's been about 4 or 5 podcasts that we've talked about this for a little bit.
At least, and it has involved multiple different segments, ideas under the influence, all that good stuff. But yeah, I couldn't agree more with you. And it, like you said, this time of year where it just starts, like, it feels like every day like shaves off a couple minutes of daylight, and then you just know the inevitable's coming when it's like dark at 5 o'clock, and you're like, I just know this is around the corner.
Very sad.
Well, speaking of darkness, boys, my sinker goes to light bulbs, and as we've been talking about the last few weeks. Getting some work done to the house, getting our master bathroom redone. We got a new light put in. Nice light. Go with that. You want to get some decent bulbs. You want the lighting to be right because you're paying that kind of money to have the bathroom look a certain way, look right, whatever, blah, blah, blah. This is my wife talking, by the way. This is not me talking. And we find these light bulbs, the light. We buy this light online, sight unseen, to see the picture of it. We're like, that's the one she wants. That's the one we're getting, blah, blah, blah. Doesn't come with bulbs, though. All right, so we go to the store, buy
I've never
bulbs.
Understood that.
Buy some bulbs, too bright.
I feel like the people who make the lamps are the same people who make the bulbs, so then they make you go buy separately.
This goes into layers here.
Confusing.
For a second. So Maggie decides that she's going to go to the store. She's going to buy the bulbs that she thinks was in the picture. 5 of the wrong bulbs, all of them $10 a crack because they're these decorative fucking candle bulbs.
Oh.
$50, just poof, gone. Because they're electronics, you can't return that once you've breathed on the box. So the next round, I decide, hey, I'm going to be the smart one here. I buy the smart Wi-Fi bulbs, so you can control them, you can control the dimness, blah blah blah. Well, here's the dipshit part of it for me is you have to have the switch activated the whole time. And so for this is being a bathroom light, you don't want to wake up in the middle of the night and have to fucking tell Alexa or your assistant or whoever the fuck's turning your lights on, turn your fucking bathroom lights on. You just want to be able to flip the switch. Alexa, zip it. Alexa's picking me up right now. But then, so that's not working. We had the dimness was perfect. Lighting was perfect. We had, it was exactly it. There's another $50 out the window because those were $10 a crack. So finally, I just go to the store where I bought the light from. I go to their retail store today, buy another round of 5 light bulbs, another $50 worth of light bulbs, throw them in the lamp, and it's not bright enough. So I'm going to lose my mind, boys.
Matt, you're like 130 deep in light bulbs, my friend.
I'm like 160 deep in light bulbs, and I can't do anything about them. The only nice thing is those smart bulbs are pretty sweet. So I'm going to throw those outside. Once it's Christmas time, we're going to jack with the colors a little bit. Halloween will mess with the colors a little bit. And people are kind of, we'll throw the strobe light effect tied in with our alarm system and shit like that. So, mess with people a little bit.
Yes.
I have a story too. So I have a light next to my bed, and the light bulb went out, and I can't get the bulb out. I've been trying pretty hard, and I don't want to break it.
Use a potato.
Yeah. Break the light bulb, cut a potato in half, and stick the potato into it, and the glass will it'll cling to the inside of the potato, and you can twist it that way.
Yep.
Okay.
Wild move. I know. It was on a commercial on TV years ago about like household hacks, and I always pick that one up. So it's pretty cool.
I think I learned that on Tool Time on Home Improvement.
I think, that makes sense too. But it was I could see them picking up that same commercial because it was one of those like household hacks, and like back then you couldn't get that shit on YouTube for free. You had to pay $19.99 for a VHS to be sent to you, plus $5.99 for shipping and handling.
Yep.
So that's how you'd see those like little tidbits on the previews on the commercials and stuff.
Look at
fun fact from the old guy on the pod, by the
day.
way. International Podcast Day, boys. By the way, here you go.
Shout out you guys. International podcasts, including us. I'm sure we're international. I haven't looked up the.
There's got to be an out of country download.
Oh, yeah, there's got to be at least one. We'll take it. Let's move on to our floaters. My floater is really smart artists. And that's because a Danish artist was given a very large sum of money to create a piece of artwork. And he submitted 2 empty canvases and called his project Take the Money and Run. That's just genius. That's like a dad joke gone awry. But this is a real life story.
He's just like, I'm not going to do it.
I mean, Jens Haning. I hope I'm pronouncing it right.
And I bet you that blank canvas is going to sell for
I was going to
quite
say
a bit of
somebody's
money.
going to pay $250,000 for it, I'm sure.
He got paid $84,000 for 2 blank canvases.
That's awesome. I love it. And then someone's going to make an NFT out of it too and like double that. So.
Yep. The art world's so stupid, but what a genius move. I'm not smart enough to have come up with that on my own. So that's.
Is there a bigger pyramid scheme in the world than fucking
because
abstract art?
Yeah.
No bigger pyramid scheme on the planet.
Oh, I've listened. I think it was Dog Walk did an episode of like the art world and how skeevy it is.
Yeah, it's blood money, man. It's like those blood diamonds.
I'll stick to the paintings that I got back in college of like not even paintings or just like prints of things that I'm like, oh, that looks cool. I like the eye maze where you stare at it for 5 minutes. My parents used to have one of those. I got to get one of those. My wife's gone this weekend. Maybe I'll get one of those for the hallway.
There we go. Projects in Boomy's house. My floater, I've gained a little bit of weight. I'm not going to lie. Fat guys is my floater because guess what, boys? Sweatshirts, poofy vest, like whatever you want to cover up, you got now because it's cold out and you can wear coats, boys. We're good.
Layers are our friends.
Fall's the best, baby. Hoodies cover everything. Long sleeve tees go miles and miles and miles. It's gold mine season, boys. It's just you can't ask for anymore.
This is our season to shine. I mean,
this is peak me.
I'm a big fan of sweatshirts.
And you're not sweating so much, like summer where it's just you like breathe and you start getting hot. Yeah, love it.
Absolutely. Maddie, what's your floater? Great one.
My floater, boys, and I know it's a lot of people might be a little annoyed, but my floater is Dog the Bounty Hunter. And now that he's on the Brian Laundrie, Gabby Petito case, he's finding Monster Energy cans in the middle of nowhere. He's flying messages on planes for the fugitive to see. And it's he's definitely not doing it to promote a TV show that he's trying to plug. He's just doing it for all the right reasons.
Whoa, Maddie.
He's definitely not.
He's doing it for all the right reasons.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
Dog the Bounty Hunter's never done anything shady.
He's trying to
Aloha,
show
brother. Aloha, brother.
Trying to find Christ, bro. Come on.
Other than the fact he killed somebody, but we don't need to
put
talk
down
about
the ice pipe.
Whoa.
Hey,
take it easy. Dog the Bounty Hunter.
Dog slander here.
No, I just said we're not going to talk about it.
It's literally. He's doing the FBI's work right now.
Matt, you make a great point because I saw a really good post that was like, I swear to God, if Dog the Bounty Hunter finds this Brian Laundrie guy, I'm never paying taxes again.
Oh, shit.
Well, I think that they've teamed up.
Yeah, wouldn't you? If Batman wanted to help you, you'd take it. I mean,
oh, yeah.
Yeah, and like, my wife made a good point, and I think she had seen this on social media. It's like people like knock it because like if you take away like the fact that he's a reality TV star and he's goofy, but like at the end of the day, he's been a professional bounty hunter for like 40 years and he's apprehended like 6,000 criminals. So like, yeah, I understand like it's funny like to some people, but like at the end of the day, this guy's pretty good at his job.
And they're doing a very good job at using like social media too.
Right. Oh, that's what you're getting at, man. I agree with you.
I'm only getting at that he's definitely not plugging a TV show, which I really, really would love to come back. I really hope a TV show for him comes back. I'm not gonna lie.
There's going to be a Netflix documentary about this.
Absolute best, like lazy day couch TV, like from college in the early 20s, pre-kids era, when it was just like you get blackout drunk and hung over all day. Hangover TV was always better when Dog the Bounty Hunter was on. We need more Dog back. Find him. Just find him. You can make it.
When he shares that cigarette, that's a moment.
It is.
That's a moment.
He's the intentions are good.
You need a cigarette, bruh?
There you go.
And they find
Absolutely.
Christ together, and then he takes them to jail.
Shatters the ice pipe.
You got to find Christ. You got to find Christ. Absolutely. Let's move into the TCF Sports Minute. We talked a little bit about this last week when me and Zach were talking about the Bulls starting up here around the corner. I did see that their over-under for wins is 41.5. And I don't know about you guys, but we still have about $160 in the show pot. I'm thinking we maybe go all in on the Bulls over 41 wins.
I concur.
We will get into this. We should maybe also use it on a Blackhawks bet too.
Yes.
But I would love to go over on that 41.5. I think the Bulls are going to be good this year. This team seems like they have some veterans with some young guys.
I think there's enough veteran experience and enough just skill to get you to the 41 win mark. You know what I mean?
Because if at the end of the day, that's assuming they're going to go 41-41. I think they're going to be better than 500. I really do. I like you guys said, there's veteran guys there. There's a nice mix of young guys and like Billy Donovan running the team. And I just think that this team is going over 41.5. I think this team could be closer to 50.
I don't think people have realized how much better the bench has gotten.
Mm-hmm. Great point.
You know what I mean? Like we got rid of Felicio, we got rid of Denzel Valentine, we got rid of I like RG Diacono, but like some of those guys, and we've added them with some NBA players who are pretty good at basketball.
Yeah, but when you think about it, when you add Lonzo Ball, it makes Kobe White a bench player now, and that reinforces your bench too with a guy like Kobe White, as opposed to, like you said, Archie Diacono is a nice player, but give me Kobe White, coming off the bench over that any day of the week. And, so it reinforces when you start bringing in more top-level talent, it does spread out your bench a little bit naturally. And I do think there's so much just veteran-laden talent. I think Lonzo Ball is a good fit with Levine in the backcourt. Like bringing DeRozan in, you said, you got Vucevic. There's a lot of talent on this team, and I think
Caruso.
It's I think 41 wins should be the absolute basement for this team.
Yes.
So I think that's why you got to take the over. It does scare me that it seems that obvious a little bit, so maybe we're missing something. I know the East is going to be better this year than what, generally speaking. But Kyrie Irving's only going to play 41 games this year, probably, or at least the way it's shaken out. And some of these teams are going to be managing, doing the load management, spreading out. They don't want people, dried up by the time deep playoff runs are needed. I think a team like the Bulls is going to be poised to try to position themselves, could be in a good spot, regular season wise.
I think the East is going to be better, but like at the end of the day, if you look at it, I mean, obviously Milwaukee's, just came off an NBA championship. Miami got better, but in the same breath, Philadelphia's gotten worse, I think, and they still have all the internal rift going on. Boston,
but the Bulls have gotten better. People don't realize that.
The Bulls have
gotten better.
Yeah.
Even with some of the trades they made in the season last year, and then some of the moves they made in the offseason. Like this front office, they're ready to win right now.
Yep. I know a lot of people were ripping on him for bringing in DeRozan. They thought that was like a kind of a weird move, whatever. The guy still can produce in the NBA. It's not like he's just a dog shit
That's
player.
A move Gar and Pax would never make, and probably couldn't make because DeRozan probably wouldn't want to go to the Bulls then. Like that's why it makes me excited, is because guys like DeMar DeRozan, who are veterans and they're maybe kind of closer to the end of their careers, and they want to come play with the Bulls.
Yes, I think
filling the Patrick Williams spot's going to be tough though, because he's going to be out a while, and I think they're kind of relying on him to be a starter, produce a lot of minutes this year.
I think that the piece you guys said about DeRozan, when you bring a guy like him in, who is maybe at worst one of the top 5 free agent prospects in this class, if you're able to land a guy like that, what's that set you up for in the future with other free agent classes? I think that's big, and that, like you said, Zach, that's something that Garpax could not have pulled off in the past. So exciting.
I don't see how adding a guy that averages 20 a game, pretty much rolls out of bed and averages 20 a game is a bad thing.
Exactly. I mean? And no Cristiano Felicio, so everything is up on the up and up in my book.
Your lips to God's ears.
Blackhawks dropped the preseason opener. No big deal. I think they're going to be improved. Point total is at 90.5. Matty Pucks is 91 points out of the Blackhawks. Asking too much.
Not asking too much. I think they're going to be playing in a really tough division. So I think that's going to matter in terms of the point total. So I think that's going to play a bit more of an impact for them than we thought for the Bulls that it will. So I think it's one thing to think about from a gambling perspective. But I do think, you're trying to figure 95, 96-ish is where you gotta want to be for a playoff spot. And the hope is they're a playoff team this year. You got Marc-Andre Fleury there. You got Seth Jones now reinforced in the back end. Brother Caleb Jones looked good the other day. Taves is back, which is exciting. Kirby Doc looking a little bit more, NHL ready to roll kind of, spot. You got Patrick Kane, who's going to do Patrick Kane things all season. Mm-hmm. So there's things to be optimistic about. They got a lot of players, offensively still that can produce, and you just hope that everything shakes out the way you expect from Jeremy Colleton and the front office does the right things along the way too, which you don't always have a lot of confidence in.
Definitely. Do you put any solace in the preseason loss on what was that, Wednesday night? Because Detroit's not good, and we gave up 2 pretty easy goals late. Do you put anything in that?
I put zero stock in preseason anything, especially hockey. Patrick Kane didn't play. It's Detroit's a young team that's got a lot of talented prospects that are probably trying to earn roster spots a little more so than what the Hawks are looking at. And I think it's preseason. Just work out, just get your body right, get your start kind of getting used to the flow of the game. I think that's the focus right now.
For sure. In baseball, Cubs sitting at 69-90 will finish up this weekend in St. Louis. Shutting a lot of guys down, for the end of the year. Hayward.
What's the point of that?
I think a lot of times is it.
Well, I understand with like a Jason Hayward, a Nico Horner, yes, you're gonna shut them down, but.
Yeah, I think you look at it more from the aspect of giving a guy like Donnie DeWeese or someone who gets called up late, okay, you've got a week, show us why you should be on the, the starting roster when we have opening day next year. What can you do against major league pitching? I think it's more on that aspect, but I could be wrong. White Sox sitting at 91-68. They will be playing the Astros for sure. As of right now, they will not be hosting the Astros, lead them in wins right now going into the last week of the season. It is possible for the White Sox to catch them. I don't know, boys. I'm obviously, I want the Sox to win the World Series just because I have a future on them. But I don't know. I do worry that the Sox have peaked going into October. I hope for Sox fans, at least the ones I like, that I'm wrong. But I don't know about you guys. I just feel like they've peaked, and I don't know if they're healthy as we expected them to be going into the playoffs.
No, but with Lance Lynn pitching was it Rodon who pitched yesterday or Tuesday?
Yeah, I think it was Rodon.
He kind of coming back, and the offense is going to be there. This is a very, very good offense. You just hope the pitching can stay healthy throughout the playoffs. And some of the injuries from the season don't affect them in the playoffs. But I think if the White Sox play how they should, they're going to have a fun playoff run.
Yep, the offense has got to be, and pitching's just got to be consistent. I don't know. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't know. I worry that they've peaked too early. Maddie, any thoughts on the Sox?
No, I wouldn't worry about so much peaking too early. I think the problem I think they're going to face is that Houston's battle test. I think that matters a little bit. And I know experience can kind of sometimes be overrated, but that team rakes. And they're not going to be, the moment's not going to be too big for that lineup.
True.
The pitching for Houston could be in question. I think they lack some experience there. So that's where I think the White Sox can take advantage. And the Astros do have a couple lefties too. So Framber Valdez is a lefty, and obviously the Sox damage to lefties is well documented. So I think they could do some work to them. I think Luis Garcia for them is also a lefty. So I think there's some trouble the Sox could lay on the Astros as well. And, so I think I would favor the Sox. I would take them in the series, though. I think they're a better team overall, top to bottom.
Absolutely. Well, before we move into our Week 5 college football preview, we have to give a big shout out to our sponsor, Connect Roasters. They've got the best coffee around that you can find. They work with our guy, Dom Frederick, and Ian Happ. So you know that it's good stuff. Zach loves it. Zach's mom loves it. You can't go wrong. Okay. Make sure to check out their website, connectroasters.com. Follow them on Twitter at Connect Roasters. You can find their product at Foxtrot Market and Dom's. And like I said, on their website, connectroasters.com. Make sure you go pick up some Connect Roasters coffee. Boys, let's jump into it. We got a big Week 5 in college football coming up. I think Week 5 is going to look a little bit better than Week 4. I want to go through some games here in the state of Illinois. I always start with my Huskies, NIU, 2-2 after a big win over FCS Maine last week. Northwestern did pick up a win finally. They play Nebraska this week. Might be an opportunity to pick up a Big Ten win. You guys like the Wildcats going into this weekend?
Yeah, playing against Nebraska, I'd say, but I don't know what's going on with them this year.
Yeah, very unpredictable right now.
I thought they were going to be a lot better.
Yeah, I thought they'd be in a bowl, and now I don't know. Maddie, anything on the Cats?
No, I think it's pretty uninspiring from what you'd expect. They had that Hunter Johnson transfer in, and they thought had some high hopes for him as a quarterback. He got benched, didn't look very good at times, and so it's been a rough season for them. I think it seems like Northwestern's on that every other year plan.
Yeah. Speaking of rough seasons, the old Fighting Illini are sitting at 1-4. Remember, they played a Week 0 game. And it seems on paper that they would have an easy one this week. They play Charlotte, but Charlotte is actually playing very well this year. Obviously, it's at Illinois. That helps a lot. But maybe a chance to look at, an upset alert. It's disappointing. I know it's year one for Brett Bielema, but do you think the Illini are going to get it figured out here anytime soon, boys?
I don't think it's going to be this year. I'm not saying that he can't turn around the next few years with recruiting, but it's going to be tough to do it this season.
Definitely. Maddie, you making any trips down to Champaign
no.
anytime?
Gotta string some classes together. Gotta string some classes together. It's going to be one of those things. It's not a quick turnaround there.
In the FCS division, we have Western Illinois at 1-3, and they play Southern, who is the best team in the state of Illinois as of right now.
Oh, yeah, they are. That's how you undefeated? 3-1.
Their only loss is, 3-2, I think, actually. They lost to Kansas State, who is a Division I team, an FBS team. And then they also lost to Montana, who is ranked just a little bit higher than them. I believe they're still at 7. In the FCS rankings. Eastern, pretty pitiful, 1-4. They play Murray State this weekend. And Illinois State sitting at 2-2, and they've got Missouri State. But, boys, I think if the Salukis keep it rolling, we might need to plan a trip down to Carbondale.
ISU grad James Robinson scored a touchdown tonight for the Jaguars.
Gotta love some good FCS. Some especially good games. Southern playing well. Always nice to keep a look on them. But I picked a couple big games this week on the national schedule. Some ranked teams, some good teams. Let me hear your guys' input. Arkansas and Georgia. Is Arkansas good enough to play with the big dogs? They beat Texas. They've won some big games. But do you guys think they have enough to take it to the Bulldogs?
I don't think so. I think Georgia is very good.
Yeah, I think the buck stops here.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you guys. I think Georgia's defense is going to show why they're probably the best unit in the country.
They still have that 6'8", 390-pound kid I love talking about because that is the largest human I've ever seen. In the Big Ten, we got Wisconsin heading to Michigan. Wisconsin kind of needs this game after an embarrassing loss last weekend to Notre Dame. Do you think that the Badgers – do you think that the Badgers have enough to go into Ann Arbor and take a win?
Harbaugh's never won there. No, this is in Madison.
Oh, it's in Madison. Oh.
Yeah, Harbaugh's never won there. So
I'll be bold and say it. That changes this year. I think Wisconsin's not good, and I think Michigan is.
Graham Mertz is yikes. He's not good at all.
Maybe he should have spent a little less time making a logo for himself and worked on reading coverage for once. That was embarrassing.
That dude,
I don't totally agree that Michigan is that good.
I agree with that too. I think it's one of those things where I think you might see it's like almost gamble the opposite way everybody's thinking in that kind of game. It's like, oh yeah, Michigan's been good. Wisconsin sucks. Why is Wisconsin the fave? And I think you kind of
that's a valid point. It's easy to be out on Michigan after the years they've had, and they've started so strong and finished so poorly. I want to get to what I think is the best game of the weekend. Cincinnati, Notre Dame. Cincinnati really needs this, to stay relevant if we're talking.
It legitimizes them, that's for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm taking the Bearcats. Let's go.
Oh, I think they're going to get trounced.
What?
Yes. I think Notre Dame.
What reason?
Double digit. Go ahead, Maddie.
No, I was going to say I'm with Zach. I think this is a game where Cincinnati just kind of lays down.
Because Notre Dame beat a Wisconsin team that you just said is not very good. They almost lost to Toledo. Am I missing something here?
I think that Notre Dame is just going to. I wasn't super impressed with Notre Dame over Indiana. Everybody said that was their second best opponent. And yeah, they won the game late, but like Indiana was leading that game for 3 quarters. I just don't know.
Cincinnati dominated the first half, though. They a couple plays shot themselves too. They gave up one big pass play. They had a bad turnover and it set them up in a bad spot. But they really were moving the ball well that entire first half. That defense is loaded too. I think.
And they came back from down 14-0.
This is the biggest game in their program's history too. I think.
Without a doubt.
I think Luke Fickell's going to have.
I'm excited. This is going to be a very good game.
Oh, I think this is going to be the game of the weekend for sure. But we'll see. I also feel like I've probably just been
is that the night game?
That game is actually at 1:30.
Yeah,
there's a lot of early good games because I know you're going to get to it. Ole Miss, Alabama is at like 2:30.
Yeah, that's the
good slate. The Saturday slate's very, very good.
It's very good. But the early, you would think some of those games would get pushed back.
Yeah, I agree.
Right.
I think LSU's at night, aren't they?
Yes, that's the one I had down last. We can jump into that one. But yes, LSU, Auburn. Obviously, LSU not having a great season. Auburn, kind of getting through. They're good enough right now. But it's always, I think it's one of those games where, like, especially some of the things we've seen in our lifetime, like that's a game you're going to turn on Saturday night, no matter if those teams are good or not.
It's also 2 SEC teams that, like, I don't know where they're going right now.
That's a good
point LSU too. Is so up in the air. Like, they win the national championship and then they have a bad year like last year, and then this year you don't know what you're going to get from them.
Yeah, I mean LSU's the home team, but Auburn is ranked 22nd and still a 3-point dog. You make a good point, Zach. I feel like you're two teams
what college
stuck
environments do, though.
Yeah,
at LSU, right?
I think it's at LSU. It's an 8:30 game.
Yeah,
that place is going to be absolutely fucking wild. And for that rivalry, LSU's fans are going to be rabid. I would absolutely pummel.
I'm pretty sure Big Cat said he went to a game there where they scored maybe 3 points or 10 points or something. Zero points. And it was the best electric moment at the beginning of that game because it's just insane.
Yeah, the fans really make an impact, especially at night in Death Valley. I don't think there's any question at all.
Do you guys think that Ole Miss, Alabama?
Ole Miss, Alabama. Does Lane Kiffin have enough?
Ole Miss is going to win this game. I want them to win, and I'm going to take the points for them. I think what is it?
14.5.
I think you're on drugs, but it is.
Wait, what?
I think you're.
Because I think they're going to win.
Oh, Alabama. I don't know if I think Alabama's going to beat them by 28.
I think it's going to be a good game.
I just don't trust Lane Kiffin. I don't know what it is.
The only thing is Mississippi's got the better quarterback. That's one thing you can't sleep on. Because Matt Corral's a really, really good player. And
he's very good. And that offense is – they can get
that
it moving.
Offense is humming. Lane Kiffin is not afraid. Say what you want about him as like a decision maker in terms of getting the game plan ready.
He's not like one of these he's like one of these new coaches that's like worried about it. Like he'll go for it. Fourth and one.
He would relish the chance to beat Saban. He would not be remotely concerned about that.
Let's just say if let's say they go score a touchdown, they either kick a field goal or an extra point to win, or to tie, or a 2-pointer to win it. He's going to take that 2-point conversion every day, and that's why a guy like him, I would love for him to beat Nick Saban. Nick Saban would be so mad. He'd be so mad too.
It would be like an extra little cut under his skin for Saban to lose to Lane Kiffin. I think he looks down on Lane Kiffin. I agree on that end. I just don't know if I don't know if Alabama's offense is going to be stopped. Ole Miss has got a good D, but like Alabama's offense,
I just want a good game.
Yeah, I agree. I think we're going to see a good one there. But let's jump into it. The NFL Week 4 pick show. I am barely hanging on to a lead in first place. You should have followed us last week. All three of us went 4-2. I am at 10-9-1. Zach is at 10-10, and Maddie is at 9-11. So we're still very much bunched up at the top. Let's talk about our Sunday noon games. I'll get us started. Give me Cincinnati -7.5. Oh wait,
that's going on right now.
Sorry, Zach, cut that. I forgot I wrote that down.
No, don't cut that.
No, we're not. No, we're gonna keep that in here.
Okay. Well, either way, 7.5. There's still 9 minutes left. Keep giving me the Bengals. Yet. They're going to cover it. I still believe in Cincinnati.
Don't worry, you're not dead yet.
That's actually what I took in the game, unfortunately.
All right. Well, I'll actually move into the games that are actually going to happen on Sunday. Give me the Washington football team. They are going to Atlanta. Atlanta picked up a win last week. I just don't know if Atlanta can repeat it. Washington's defense is much better than New York's, and I think even with Heineke, I think they're going to be able to handle. I don't trust the Falcons enough to do this 2 weeks in a row. They're not good enough to make that a consecutive thing, I don't think. And you guys are going to hate me, but I'm going to take Detroit +3. Sorry, I got to do it.
Shut up.
Don't care.
I'm going to tell you the reason why, though. The reason why is, like, Detroit has just had the worst luck this season, it feels like. It's bound to change at some point.
This season.
Well, okay, so since 1952.
I was going to say,
okay.
It didn't start this season.
Zach, you know what that means? They're due.
Yeah, that's what they all say. I'm going to take Giants +7.5. in New Orleans against the Saints. I just don't trust Jameis right now as a quarterback. It just seems like I don't know what's going on there. But I think this Giants team is better than some people think they are, I guess.
Zach, I will caution you on this. I have bet on the Giants the first 3 weeks of the show, and I've yet to win a bet or bet them or against them. And I was going to take that game, and the only thing that worried me was I believe New Orleans is actually going to play in New Orleans for the first time this season.
Oh yeah, but Jameis Winston's still their quarterback, right?
Valid counterpoint.
And then I have two. Sorry, I got two here. I'm gonna go Browns -2 in Minnesota. The Vikings can't keep this going.
Yeah, big win last weekend. I don't know if they can do it 2 weeks in a row.
I do not think so.
All right, my first one, I'm going to go with the Dolphins, -2 at home. I think it's tale of two bad teams. Jacoby Brissett revenge game, obviously going to go face his former team, the Colts. So, that means big things for a guy like Jacoby Brissett. But I do think he moved the ball a lot better than was expected last week. I think with that offense, Tua's going to be out for a while. He's on IR now. I think Miami at home, they're only laying 2. Just kind of feels like one of those games.
There's nothing about Indianapolis that just rings confidence.
Nothing at all. And the quarterback situation it's not good. I think the defense is a little bit less than what you'd expect, and now Quentin Nelson's hurt too. So I think Indy's just one of those teams is reeling right now. So I'm going to jump on Miami there. Also going to ride Zach and tail there because I like Cleveland. I think Cleveland opened up as a 1-point fave. It's now up to 2, but I do think they're kind of just a better team in general than Minnesota. I think they can kind of stop Minnesota's air attack too. So I think give me the Browns on the road there.
All right, let's move into the afternoon games. Not a ton on the schedule. I think there's only 4 afternoon games. I'll go ahead. I'll take the Packers -6.5 coming off that win. I just don't think the Steelers are very good. And Ben Roethlisberger back to being, is he hurt? Is he not? I don't know. No one knows. Pass at least a touchdown. And I will also take the Baltimore Ravens +1 going into Denver. I think Denver's improved. I don't know if I trust Denver enough right now.
I will go right against you on that one. I'm going to take the Broncos -1 at home against the Ravens. I think the Broncos are a very good team. And I'm going to take the Rams -4.5 at home against the Cardinals.
I don't hate that Rams.
I just don't think the Cardinals are very good.
I also think the Rams are very good right now.
Matthew Stafford is going to have himself maybe an MVP of the year. I don't know.
Maddie, who you got?
For 3 o'clock games, I going 2 separate games from you guys. I'm taking Seattle +3. I think Seattle's offense is going to have a lot of problems for San Francisco. It's a battered team. Kind of had a tough game last week. Just didn't really kind of get the stops when it felt like they needed to. And I think Seattle's going to be able to take advantage of that. I think DK Metcalf and Lockett.
And it's like, can you pull that gut-wrenching loss out of your system, throw it away fast enough to be able to recoup for an interdivision,
Right. And
that
then
should be a really good game.
I think, and it's literally, I know I seem to go against the Packers a lot. This one, I actually am going to go against them again, even though I took them last week, solely because I think it's just one of those total trap bets where it's like, okay, Green Bay's less than a touchdown fave at home against a struggling Pittsburgh team. Green Bay's looked great the last 2 weeks. I think it's just one of those games where Pittsburgh kind of just shows up, scratches out a decent effort. I don't think they're going to win, but keeps it close. And I think that's just kind of one of those lines where it's 6.5. It's just like feels like they're begging for Green Bay money in that one. So I'm going to take Pittsburgh.
All right, we'll move into the Sunday night game. We have Tom Brady's return to New England, Tampa Bay -7. Go ahead. I will take I keep going back and forth on this. Give me New England +7. I just feel like Bill Belichick's going to have something cooked up. He's been around Tom Brady way too long. He knows those little things that maybe other coaches don't. I'll take New England +7.
I'm going to take the Patriots. No, I'm going to take Tampa Bay -7.
Maddie, who you got?
I'm going to ride with Zach on that one. I'm taking Tampa Bay. I already bet that one when it was -6 when it first came out on Monday, actually. So jumped on that one already. But I'd take him up to 7.5 if you had to.
And Monday night, we have the Raiders heading to the Chargers. Chargers -3. I think this Raiders team is really good. I'm not ready to sell out on them yet. Give me the Raiders +3. I think they're going to have a huge, huge showing of fans in Los Angeles. Obviously, the old California connection there. I think the Raiders are a better team, and I think they're going to win this game outright.
I am not with you, Boomy. I am going Chargers -3. I think the Chargers are a very good team. And I think I saw it was like Chargers +400 to win the division. I'll take that. I'm not saying they're going to for sure win, but the Chiefs, they already have the game up on them. They beat them in Kansas City. I think this is going to be a good team. That's good value on I think the Chiefs are still -125, so that's good value.
I was thinking the same thing about a Raiders divisional win. I don't know what those odds
are.
3-0.
I'm with Zach on this one. I think the Chargers have had a tough loss against Dallas and kind of a weird game. Like you said, the beating Kansas City in Kansas City is a big game for the confidence of a young team with a young quarterback. I think the Raiders are one of those teams that they're 3-0, yes. They very well could have lost to Miami last week. They were getting smoked early. They looked just sluggish. Derek Carr looked like crap. I think Miami took their foot off the gas pedal at times, especially late in the first half. Let the Raiders right back into it then. The Raiders beat up on a Pittsburgh team that I don't think is really impressive. I know like it just took them, against Green Bay, but like I said, that was more against the number than anything. I just think it's one of those weeks where the Raiders kind of have a comeback to earth moment.
We will see. Like I said, we're all bunched up here at the top of the NFL Pick Show. Make sure to check out our bets and follow along. We've been hot last week, so let's see if we can keep it rolling. But boys, let's wrap it up with a TCF Not Top 3, the worst NFL uniforms. Do I have anybody that wants to start?
I will go first. I was looking through some of you just type in worst jerseys. And I've never seen the Bears actually wear these, but it was the Chicago Bears. It was like a striped jersey. It was from the mid-1920s, but they wore it in Week 3 in 1994 against the Vikings. Lost pretty badly. Never wore them again because they were very ugly.
Now I got to look these up. Oh, God, yeah, those are bad.
Yeah, not good.
That's a good call. That's a good call. Matt, you want to go second?
Well, no, because I'm gonna default to you because I thought we were going current. So now it's gonna change my thinking for a second. So
I had all current as well.
These are just throwback. These are just throwback jerseys like that. You don't have to whatever.
No, yeah. It's just changed my thinking a little bit. I like the revert back. You know what? Man. There's been some bad ones. There's been some really bad ones. I'm gonna go with the Cleveland Browns. I think just the plain helmet. I think it works in college. I like the look in college. I like the look for Penn State. I like the look for Notre Dame. I like the plain look in NFL. It just doesn't work for me. I think they just give me something more.
I'm with you. If you gave me like their Bulldog logo on the side of those helmets, I think I'd like them a lot more.
Absolutely. Totally agree with you there. Or even like when they've had I think at one point they did like just the year, like they did the year on their helmet when the team was established. I thought that was a cool look, but the color scheme where it's just like the brown and orange isn't anything desirable. I think it's an okay look if you do it right, but it's just blah without any kind of kick on the helmet too. So I'm going to go with just the Browns traditional.
Yep. I'm going to go, and there's 3 teams I could pick here, but I'm going to go with the ones that really made me notice how much I like these so little. And that is the Dallas Cowboy away uniforms. Not the ones anymore, but anytime a team, and I could have said this about the Giants and I could have said this about the Lions, any team that wears a white uniform with silver or gray pants, I think looks absolutely horrendous. You either go white and white or gray and gray. I think white jerseys with gray pants is the dumbest look in all of football. But I'm going to splash in a little bit of a throwback here, Zach, and I think you'll like this. The one the Packers wore that was like a yellow and blue top with a brown pant and a brown helmet.
That was on my list.
Throw that thing in the garbage. Burn all evidence of it. That is.
I don't know if we're talking about the right one, but it said it was from like the 1930s.
Yes, and that it's a weird hodgepodge of like blue and yellow, which I find
I think
if you want,
like they made it seem like the Packers and the Bears, like they brought back like their striped and stuff like that and like it just did not come back well.
Yeah, and you know how much I love the Packers, but those are ungodly. Those are so bad. Brown, yellow, and blue are not a good color combination.
Up to me?
Yep.
All right, I'm gonna go with the Steelers Bumblebee, the
Bumblebee uniforms,
the jail uniform.
Also on my list.
Just horrendous look, absolutely just dreadful look for that team. I think when you got a team full of big guys too, going horizontal stripes like that is just not advisable. So it's not a real clean look.
I get
Zach,
2, right?
2? Yep.
I'm going with the Vikings with the purple jersey and the purple pants. They look like Barney.
That's not a terrible pick. I like that one.
That was goofy. And then when the Eagles had the throwback uniforms that were bright powder blue and gold.
Yeah, those are terrible.
Like,
those were
wait,
bad.
first of all, these aren't even close to the colors they really use now. And then they were just not good looking uniforms. Like, let's leave the old uniforms back in the day.
Yeah. And Zach, I may be wrong on this, but I believe those were throwbacks from when they were the Pennsylvania Steagles, when the Steelers and the Eagles combined teams during the war because they had too many guys out fighting, and they
I think you said
combined those two colors.
1937.
Yeah, it was bad. I mean, those are horrendous. I couldn't agree more. Matt, who'd you got for your last pick?
Last one, I'm gonna go with it's basically the 85 Patriots when they lost the Bears in the Super Bowl. Those that just the red uniform with the that just the cheesy looking Patriot on the logo. Like, I just don't think
the Patriots snapping the ball.
Yeah, I don't like that. I think their updated logo in the '90s was better with the more sleek looking the Patriot and how they've been kind of updated it since. But
what if they just change their logo to Tom Brady?
I mean,
maybe that's what they're going to unveil at the game
if
on
they
Sunday.
did.
Just holding up the Super Bowl trophy,
or just Belichick wearing like a cutoff sweatshirt.
Yeah,
dynamite look.
Wouldn't hate that either. My last and final pick, I'm gonna go, and I didn't realize it until I started going through some of these lists. I hate the Colts uniforms. I get the horseshoe, that's your logo, but like the rest of it is just very,
they're very blah, like blah.
Yeah. How do you guys feel? I'm a big like helmets got like if a helmet matches a jersey, you can make it work. Like I think Carolina, if they had a black helmet, I think those would look so much better with their uniforms. I
was watching.
I like
watching
their
the
blues.
Thursday.
Yeah,
I was watching the Thursday night game with some of the guys, and I'm sorry, I'm watching. Wow, that's crazy. Sorry, I'm watching the Miami Virginia game. Miami gets down the field. They're down 2, and they kind of set themselves up for a field goal that they miss to lose the game. To Virginia at home.
Wow,
that's brutal.
That's crazy.
How do you guys?
Sorry.
They were down big too. Miami was down really big.
Mm-hmm.
The Carolina game on Thursday night, Zach.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm watching the Thursday night game this week, tonight with the Jaguars in it, and we got thinking, how cool were those gold helmets? The old school Jaguars helmets.
Yeah.
Oh, where they had like the gold tint to it.
Those were so cool.
Yeah,
the faded ones from gold to black. They got rid of those way too early.
I don't mind the Bengals helmet, to be perfectly honest. I think the Bengals stripes on it. I think that's kind of a cool look.
I like that. I watched the PFT said if you were watching the game tonight, you would have thought that some traffic cones were running around the field with their uniforms on. The all orange.
What do you guys think? This will be the last one I want to bring up. What do you guys think about the Tampa Bay all pewter uniforms, the brownish, grayish ones?
No, I like the Tampa Dreamsicles back in the day, the orange.
Oh, gotta bring
that.
Those
was back. Just a absolute fire look.
I saw a lot of hate on the Giants all red. I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I thought the Giants looked good in red. I even think that their uniform at the end of the day is very boring. I think their helmet is boring, but like I said,
I like the NY better than like the Giants when they did the Giants across the helmet.
I don't know. I just feel like teams with like weird logos like that or like team names like that, like you got to come up with some, like the Browns, they came up with the dog. Like the Giants got to come up with some sort of mascot, but that's just me. I personally like the Tampa Bay pewter ones, but I don't know. They almost seem like too much. It fits the theme.
It's just funny when you say it.
Pewter. Yeah, it's a fun word to say. It is a really fun word to say. Well, boys, that was episode 115. Thank you so much for joining us on the podcast. Shout out to our sponsor, Connect Roasters. Head over to their website, connectroasters.com, or find them on Twitter at Connect Roasters for some of the best coffee you will ever drink. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at @typical_Chicago. Check out our Facebook and Instagram page. Head over to YouTube. Subscribe there for all of our content in video form. Subscribe, rate, and review Apple Podcasts. Follow Spotify, Spreaker, Google Podcasts. Wherever you get your podcasts, we're there. Follow me on Twitter at BoomyTCF, Zach at ZLilia, and Maddie at Schools_01. But before we let you guys go tonight, we have to drop some information on you. We are teaming up with Beer Baseball Repeat to do a new shirt. It's been a long time since we've had merch available. We will tweet the link out. We'll put it on all socials. But we have a lot of people have asked for this, and we finally have a black T-shirt with the TCF logo on it.
What we find out is me and Boomy, we're not good at the whole process of getting them, moving them, and everything. We it's just not what it's not. We found a better way, you know.
Yeah.
And the Beer Baseball Repeat has they've always been a great supporter of the podcast, and I kind of reached out to them. It's $12 for a shirt. It's
great company, and get
great
some more of
company.
their shirts while you're there too.
They have
some
awesome shirts. They got shirts, mugs, stickers. So make sure you check out all their products, but also check out it'll be the typical Chicago fan logo on the shirt. I'm very excited for it. I will be ordering plenty of those. So I am very excited about that.
Absolutely. So we will be tweeting.
Shout out to them too. Beer Baseball Repeat. They have awesome shirts. They were very nice with everything. We needed a version of the logo, and they helped us out with that. Shout out to Joe Store, also the guy who created the logo. All of it's very cool to see as an actual product.
Definitely.
And actually, I'm on the site right now. You can get it in black, navy, light steel, smoke gray, or white. So we have 5 colorway options for the new T-shirt logo. Sizes small all the way up to 5X, XLTs, you name it, they've got it. Beer Baseball Repeat. You'll see the link to those throughout our social medias throughout the week. But please do us a favor. Go get yourself a T-shirt. Get some of the Beer Baseball Repeat T-shirts while you're there. And we guarantee you're going to love these ones. So thank you for joining us. This was episode 115 of Typical Chicago Fans. We love you all.
Peace.